Most people think intelligence looks obvious. Good grades, fast answers, confident people who always seem to know what to say. But some of the smartest people spend years believing something is deeply wrong with them. Not because they're broken, because their brain sees too much. And in a world addicted to distraction, deep thinkers often look abnormal, quiet, distracted, emotionally distant, overly curious, even awkward. The world rewards fast stimulation now, quick reactions, endless scrolling, constant noise. But intelligent minds usually move in the opposite direction. They notice more, and eventually, that awareness becomes exhausting. Sometimes intelligence doesn't make people feel superior. Sometimes it makes them feel isolated. You may replay conversations for hours after they end. You may notice tiny changes in people's energy nobody else seems to care about. You may need long periods alone just to recover from normal social interaction. And sometimes, your own thoughts become so loud that silence starts feeling impossible. But here's the part most people never talk about. What if the habits you hide the most are actually survival patterns from a hyperaware mind? For example, talking to yourself. A lot of people secretly do it. Rehearsing conversations, most people call it weird. But intelligent minds often think faster than they can emotionally organize. Speaking becomes a way to slow the noise down. And honestly, some people don't talk to themselves because they're unstable. They talk to themselves because their mind never fully goes quiet. Some minds never learn how to rest. And this is where it gets darker. Highly intelligent people often struggle with mental silence. Their brain keeps searching for patterns even when their body is exhausted, which is why many of them slowly become emotionally attached to nighttime. The empty room, the phone, glow in the dark, unread messages, just thoughts. And for some people, that becomes the only moment they feel mentally free. But the scary part is, freedom can quietly turn into isolation. Because eventually, some intelligent people stop using solitude to recharge and start using it to emotionally disappear. The same brain that notices patterns quickly also notices emotional tension quickly, fake energy, emotional inconsistency. Things most people ignore instantly become impossible to unsee. It starts feeling like emotional work. That's why some highly intelligent people disappear for days, not answering texts, avoiding calls, pulling away from everyone, not because they hate people, because their nervous system becomes overloaded. Sometimes the smartest people aren't overthinking life. They're surviving it, and modern life makes this infinitely worse. Your brain was designed for tribes, small groups, real conversations, quiet recovery, not endless scrolling. Not thousands of strangers performing happiness through a glowing screen at 2 a.m. Some people aren't addicted to their phones. They're addicted to escaping their own thoughts. But modern society rewards stimulation, not depth. Which means hyper-aware people often feel emotionally exhausted in ways they can't explain. That's why some people feel tired even after doing nothing all day. Not physically tired, mentally flooded. Hyper-awareness is lonely, and loneliness doesn't always look lonely. Sometimes it looks like someone sitting alone in a dark room while their mind refuses to stop replaying everything they said that day. Sometimes it looks like someone laughing with friends while secretly feeling disconnected from everyone around them. And weirdly enough, highly intelligent people often become trapped inside their own minds. They question everything, especially themselves. They replay decisions and wonder if they're secretly the problem. Overthinking is often intelligence turned inward. And if that spiral goes on long enough, awareness stops feeling like a gift. It starts feeling like emotional static. Intelligence can become emotional noise. And maybe that explains another strange habit, daydreaming constantly, imaginary conversations, fake scenarios that feel emotionally safer than reality itself. The inner world starts feeling easier to live in, but even that becomes dangerous eventually. Because some people don't escape into fantasy to imagine a better future. They escape because reality stopped feeling emotionally safe. And the more aware you become, the harder it is to ignore what modern life is doing to people. The performative nature of social media, the silent loneliness hiding inside constant connection. And maybe that's the real reason so many intelligent people feel emotionally exhausted now. Not because they think too much, because the world became too loud for people who think deeply. That's the part nobody warns you about. The problem was never your mind. It was trying to survive an emotionally unnatural world. And honestly, that realization can feel both comforting and terrifying at the same time. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it anymore. So, if any of these habits felt painfully familiar, maybe stop asking yourself, what's wrong with me? Because sometimes healing doesn't start with fixing yourself. Sometimes it starts with understanding why your mind adapted the way it did. And honestly, that realization changes people. If this video made you feel understood in a way you couldn't explain, tell me which habit felt the most personal to you. And there's something even darker about highly intelligent minds that most people don't realize until it quietly destroys their relationships. Because sometimes intelligence doesn't destroy your happiness first. It destroys your ability to emotionally connect with people. And once that starts happening, most people don't notice until they already feel completely alone.